What's going on, guys? Another late night stream. It seems like these days I'm always going live at night because that is when these things are happening. Everything seems to be happening at night now. It's kind of how it's been for a while though. But I'm gonna do some live TA, just talk about what's going on here again. So right now the price is bouncing off of this support level. We're finally hitting a point where you might see some buying. You might see some people stepping in to buy at this point. Does that mean we're going to be bullish from here on out? Probably not, but for the short term, you know, we might get a bounce here. But either way, let's take a look at what's going on. So, looking at the 6-hour candle, we're green on this new candle here, so a small rebound is probably likely. But either way, let's take a look. So this rectangle here is just mapping out, you know, that short squeeze and the support that we created here. So if you look at the lowest point we've hit, we're sitting right at that support area right there, guys. So all these gains, guys, we came right back, retraced right through all these gains. So basically, the price that we're at now is pretty much right where that short squeeze brought us up to, and we are now all the way back at that support level, $8,200. Finding a little bit of support here finally, guys. We've had just relentless selling going on. People talking that is possibly tied to the Mt. Gox situation, and that's definitely possible. But either way, it has been a pretty ugly past few days. Norm says, why you always bearish? And then Norm says, I never heard you talk positive about Bitcoin. Maybe I'm wrong. So guys, I don't like sit here and bash the technology. Like, I think Bitcoin's great. I think cryptocurrencies are awesome. And that's why I'm doing this. I mean, if I hated crypto, I wouldn't be spending so much time, you know, here talking about it and whatnot. So obviously I like cryptocurrencies. But that doesn't, just because, you know, I don't have to be bullish on cryptocurrencies in order to like them. You know, like if I think something is overpriced or overbought, I'm going to tell you guys that I think it's overbought and overpriced. So, you know, I don't, just because I'm telling you guys that prices are going to go down does not mean that I hate cryptocurrencies and I hate Bitcoin. That's not at all true. Like, obviously I wouldn't be here if that's the case. I'm just, you know, I'm just telling you guys realistically what I think, and I've been consistently right, guys. I've called pretty much every major reversal we've had. I've given alerts out for it, which is right here, and right here. So, you know, my channel is not here. I'm not here to bash on Bitcoin and crypto. I'm just here to tell you guys what I think are what's happening with the prices. And just because I'm bearish on Bitcoin or crypto doesn't mean that I hate it. You know what I mean? I'm just like, if I'm right, I'm right. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I've been pretty consistently correct since I began this channel. But anyway, guys, enough of that. We are still not really finding great support at this level. You know, buyers are stepping in a little bit, but it's definitely not strong enough yet. If I'm a trader, I'm looking at this, guys. You know, maybe I take the chance, maybe not, but there's not much confidence right now in the market. Norm, you're asking, what is my prediction for the end of 2018? So, if you're looking at what I mapped out here, take away that support line. So, we've sort of been trading on this descending support trend. So, I honestly do think that we're going to break this, break through the 6,000 mark, you know, probably middle of the year. I think we're going to end up breaking below, maybe sooner, maybe later. It's always hard to predict. But my actual price target is about $2,500. I think it's possible that the price actually, I know this is going to sound really crazy to a lot of you guys that are tuning in right now, but I think it's possible for the price to go as low as $1,800. Anywhere between $1,800 and $4,500 is where I think the price is actually going to be bottoming out and stabilizing. But $2,500 is the most specific prediction I have been calling for. Eric is asking, what website do you use for technical analysis? I use CryptoWatch. So the actual website is cryptowatt.ch. So if you go to your browser right now, if you want to look at the website that I'm looking at here, if you go to your browser and type in CryptoWatt.ch, that would bring you to basically this page right here. So this page is, you know, you can look at tons of currencies here. It's an awesome website, guys. It's really good. It doesn't look as pretty as, like, you know, TradingView and stuff, but it's still a great website. And then you just click on whatever currency you're looking for. If you can't find it because there's so many, if you're on a Windows computer or Mac, just hit Control F, and then, you know, you type in, you know, XMR, and then it should highlight it. So yeah, it highlighted the letters right there, and then you just click on it. So now we're looking at Monero here, just as an example. But CryptoWatt.ch is an awesome website. You know, you got all your tools up here, different types of candles. CryptoWatt.ch, you can add the grid. I don't really like the grid. It kind of messes with my perspective. I usually do my analysis without it. I don't think those lines are really all that necessary. And guys, volume is my main indicator. You know, there's a lot of useful tools out there, but nothing speaks more than volume. Volume is just, if you're trying to make a good analysis, you have to use volume. Getting a little bit of a pushback here, although still really not that strong. Buying is beginning to become a little bit more consistent at this point. But we'll see what happens, guys. I think we might get rejected here. That buying down there, right? Really not enough to make a significant pushback. I think we'll probably get more of a retracement. And if we fail this area, so we're finding support at 8,200. If we fail 8,200 again, so if we break below 8,200 again, the next support area is probably going to be 7,700, and then after that, we're back down to like 6,500. So, I mean, not necessarily 6,500. You know, you could get a low created at like 7,100, something like that. If we were going to create a bullish trend, you know, you would want to see it dropping down. So if we actually back out here and look at the bigger picture, if you're looking for a bullish trend, you know, you want to see the price channel into this area here, and the next low would be like 7,100, and then you bounce up, whatever, and then eventually build out. If we come back to that 6,500 support, guys, and if we eventually just come back to this support and start trading right into here, that's you know, I would say it's very likely that we're going to break below. But if we start creating higher lows here and start building out, you know, it could become more of a bullish situation. But either way, guys, the price levels we're at right now are the same price levels we were at in mid-November. So these are November price levels and February panic low price levels as well. So the bulls right now really need to make a pushback here. Some people need to step in. If they want this to turn around, you need to get a lot more buying here. Jose says, 3 in a row. I like your style. Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna probably start going live more often now. I kind of like it more than making those videos. Going live is a little bit more interesting. I mean, I'm gonna do both, obviously, but it's also easier to just go live. But yeah, guys, this support area, So, whoops. I'm gonna take away these lines. So it's interesting, guys, when you look left and you look at all of our previous price action, you know, we're sitting right at that critical level. So yeah, if we just start trading back into this zone, I think it's pretty likely that we're gonna break 6K again. So we got Eric from Belgium, Peter also from Belgium. Nice, guys. Yeah, when I go into my YouTube analytics, I actually see Belgium comes up with a lot of watch time. So I appreciate that a lot. That's awesome. So let's look at CoinMarketCap. Current market cap is $371 billion for all cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin dominance is gaining 38% now. You know, when altcoins are doing badly or performing poorly, Bitcoin dominance obviously goes up. So everything is, let's see, what do we got? Komodo getting a small rebound. Pivx. Yeah, guys, like I was talking about this in my video yesterday, when everything is trading in the same direction, you know, that's just proof that we are in a speculative market and nothing is being traded on value and it is all being traded on speculation. So I'm not sitting here bashing on crypto. I'm just telling you, like, this is a new thing. It's a very new market, and it's really just based on speculation at this point because people aren't truly using their cryptocurrencies yet. Only a small amount of cryptocurrency owners are actually using their cryptos. So that, you know, that takes its toll on the market, guys. When you have a lot of people that are just buying cryptocurrencies and holding on to them, that takes the supply out of the market and makes it easier to manipulate the market, actually. So the more people that hodl, the easier it is to manipulate because there's less coins available to trade. So the supply is smaller and you get like a low float situation where, you know, prices get manipulated easier. But if people are using their cryptocurrencies, guys, if people were spending them regularly and merchants were accepting them, you know, prices wouldn't be going so crazy all the time. People would be exchanging coins and price points wouldn't matter as much. So let's go back here. Yeah, everything's trying to make a pushback right now, but I don't really know if it's gonna end up working. I think people are scared, man. I think a lot of people, you know, everyone bought into this upswing, and people are scared now, guys. I don't think people want to buy into this. I think we're probably gonna actually break 8,200 again and go lower. We're gonna have probably gonna have a pretty decent crash. Well, a crash, whatever that means in crypto, but yeah, guys, once we break into this area below this support line, so if we break below like $8,000, the price can freely move. I mean, that short squeeze, there's no support in that. That's not support, guys. That short squeeze, you can't really consider that support. So if we break below 8,000, you know, expect that the price can pretty much do anything. It can, you know, it's free to move in this area. Peter says, add me on Facebook, and he says, Ethereum, question mark. Like, also, what I was saying before, Peter, you know, all these cryptos are moving in the same direction. So, like, I'm gonna take this 4-hour chart, put these side by side, and you see that it's really similar. So that's Ethereum, that's Bitcoin. That's Ethereum, and that's Bitcoin. You know? Whoops. Clicked on the wrong button there. But yeah, I mean, like, you know, it's just flowing together. You know what I mean? It's not really much different. If Bitcoin goes down, Ethereum's going to go down. You know, it's not really, the crypto market isn't really at a point yet where individual sectors within the market are trading differently. Like in the future, at some point in the future, when people are using smart contracts on a regular basis, then Ethereum and other smart contract cryptocurrencies will probably end up trading in a different fashion from the standard coins, because, you know, different types of money, different institutional money will be trading different types of coins based on the industry and the sectors that they're in. So once the crypto market actually develops, then, you know, then things will start trading differently. But for now, the reason why I'm so focused on Bitcoin, guys, is because it's controlling everything else, you know. It's all trading. So, we're looking at Ethereum. This isn't Bitcoin. I'm going to go back to Bitcoin now, but it's all trading together. So Chris is asking, do you I'm guessing you're trying to say, do you see Bitcoin going to 3K later? I mean, yeah, I was just talking about this earlier here in this stream. So I've talked about this a bunch of times. And again, a lot of the things I do are repetitive, but when you're analyzing something from a macro scale, a large scale perspective, when you're doing large scale analysis, I mean, it's always repetitive. You're always going back into the history to find out what's going on. So we had that parabolic move, and the parabolic move broke. So the next low would have been created here, and we would have eventually pushed through if this move was going to continue, but we didn't. And Chris is asking, do you see Bitcoin going down to $3,000? And I mean, for those of you who have been watching this channel, you know that, yeah, I do. I do think that Bitcoin the potential for Bitcoin to go down to 1800, in between 1800 and 4500 is there. That potential is there. But I think my personal my personal target price is $2,500. I think we're gonna end up breaking below this support line, this key critical level that Bitcoin has been bouncing off of $6,000, $6 to $6,500. I think we're going to break below that and test these parabolic lows, guys. I think we're going to be testing these parabolic lows at some point. I think at some point within this year. I think around summer, midsummer, that's when we'll probably end up breaking below 6,000. But again, I'm not saying there's a guarantee of Bitcoin going down to 6,000 or below 6,000. That's just my personal prediction. Anything is possible, guys. So like I was talking about yesterday, if you're looking for the next possible bullish scenario, that would be, you know, a reverse head and shoulders like this. You know, it's not going to go straight down and straight up, but just for the sake of the example, I'm going to draw it out like this. So you have that left shoulder there, this right shoulder here, or what would be a right shoulder, which hasn't been created yet. I'm just doing an example. And then the head in the middle. So that's a reverse head and shoulders, guys. That is, I think, the most bullish scenario for Bitcoin at this moment. But we'll see, guys. You know, if you've been following this channel, one of my last videos I made right here, I called for this retracement a little too early. When I made my video about calling, you know, basically explaining why I think we're going to get a retracement, I was expecting it to be somewhat like this. Like in my video you can watch, you'll see what I drew. I was thinking like that, but we had another bounce, and now it's, you know, coming down like that. So we did get that retracement. Craig is saying, what was it you that NAS/Financial Freedom gave a shout out to in the last video? You know, Craig, I'm not sure. Okay, so Craig, I have a video called "Why I'm Bearish on Bitcoin," and that video is my top video. It has like 3,300 views or 3,400 views or something. I don't know how that video got that many views, so maybe they did shout me out. I was trying to figure out how that happened, but obviously somebody shared my video, so maybe they did share it. I'm not too sure. If you do know, I would definitely like to know who shared that video, because I would just find it interesting to know, because I have no idea how that video blew up that fast or that much. But Chris is saying he mentioned Twitter, you on there. So I am on Twitter, although I haven't been using it. I really should use it. So like, you know, a year ago when Ethereum was at like $40, on my StockTwits account, I put out alerts to buy Ethereum around $40, $50. And that's when my StockTwits account started to blow up, which now has like, I don't know, 50 or 1,600 followers. So I haven't been keeping up with it as much as I should have, or should be, but I have a StockTwits account. I trade crypto. It's on StockTwits, and I do sometimes put out alerts, like in real time. Like if I think something is about to happen, I'll say it on there. But I really should move on to Twitter. I think that would be much better. Jose is saying, I think it was Crypto AMD. That's funny that you guys know who shared my video, but I don't. I've always been wondering how that video got so many views, but that video is kind of what got this channel actually going, which is pretty cool. So it looks like this support that we're getting here, guys, is really not enough. It looks like we are actually turning around once again. We might end up going back to 8,200 and possibly breaking below. So coming back down below 8,300 again now. Let's go in there and look at the, yep, small retracement here. So guys, I'm not a short-term trader. I'm just doing this for fun right now, but this channel I'm drawing, this is just for fun. I'm not trying to give you short-term trading advice, but if Bitcoin was gonna, you know, build out from here, it would have to hold this level. If we break below, that's a bearish sign. So let's see what happens right here. And it looks like we are on that line right now. So if you look over here at the order book, at $8,200, we have 2,215 Bitcoin on the line. So $8,200, guys, there is 2,000 Bitcoin ready to be traded, which means, I hope I do this right, 2,200 times, what's the price? Or whoops, 8,200. $18 million. $18 million worth of Bitcoin on the line at 8,200 on Bitfinex right now. We are breaking below this support, so we might be going to head for 8,200 again to test that. The Fallen Alien says, I'm here. Thanks guys for, dude, I appreciate you guys joining the stream. It's so awesome. Craig says, I believe Bitcoin's going down. Meanwhile, alts have been partying. Is it worth buying and holding any alts, or will they be on sale on Bitcoin in sub 6K? So again, guys, I mean, I feel obligated to say this. I'm not a financial advisor, and I'm not guaranteeing any prices. I'm just giving you my opinion, and all my videos are for educational purposes. Trade at your own risk and do your own research. But Craig is asking, with Bitcoin going down, is it better to buy altcoins? So, you know, it's not necessarily. It depends on what altcoin you're buying, really. I mean, most altcoins right now are following Bitcoin. I mean, there's really how many coins are up right now? So of this list of 100 coins, you have, other than Tether, because that doesn't count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 coins that are actually up. So no, at this point, holding an altcoin isn't necessarily a good hedge against Bitcoin. Altcoins are not always good hedges against Bitcoin. Usually they actually are not good hedges against Bitcoin, actually. But what's interesting, guys, is the altcoins, when the altcoins are doing well, it's always after a Bitcoin run. Like the last major altcoin boom was right in this area right here. So we had that initial come up to 6,000 and we sold off. And then this was the altcoin boom right here. And then, you know, we had altcoins booming in each of these runs. So usually it's like whenever Bitcoin has gone up a bunch and people have made a bunch of money, and then you see a sell-off, that money starts flowing into altcoins and people are finding alternative ways to make money. So usually altcoins are bouncing during Bitcoin, you know, right after a Bitcoin rebound. Like, so you had this run up, right? And then this was the altcoin boom, this second bounce. And then you had this run up, and then we had a sell off and another altcoin boom in here. Then you had this run up, a sell off, and then like another altcoin boom right in here. So it's always like you always get the run up, the sell off, and then another bullish move up to that resistance level, and that move is usually the altcoin boom. Of course, that's not guaranteed every time. That's just something I've observed. So, we're looking at, okay, let's go back to this. Bitcoin is still struggling to find support here. Starting to move a little bit sideways on the 3-minute. Sellers are coming in. Still have that 8,200 that 2,200 buy order at 8,200 on Bitfinex. I'm pretty interested to see what happens when we get down there. It's $18 million plus on the line at $8,200 on Bitfinex, and I'm sure there's more on other exchanges. Let's take a look at GDAX. Not as much on the line there. Bitfinex is always the most liquid exchange. Okay, so we broke below this, guys. So now we're moving down. So just before, if anyone who's just tuning in, I just put that trend line there. This is the 3-minute candle, guys. So I was saying if we were going to build up, you know, you would want to see like a move like that, and then like squeeze into this area and then eventually break out. But it looks like we just broke below that, so it's looking bearish once again. I really want the price to go down to 8,200 just to see how the market reacts to this buy wall at 2,200 Bitcoin at 8,200 on Bitfinex. I really want to see that. I'm very curious to see, because sometimes those people just take their orders away and then there's nothing below and then the price will drop anyway. But sometimes people, you know, we'll have to see what happens. So this 8,200 support, let's go back. So I'm gonna do that again. So that support we hit, guys, basically we had that short squeeze, and then we had that sideways trading right after the short squeeze. And all these gains that we had after that short squeeze have been wiped out, and we just hit that support line right above that short squeeze area. So that is the level we're at now. It's a very critical support level. I mean, if you're looking at this, guys, Bitcoin hit 6,000 back in February, it traded up, and this line started acting as support, and then we bounced off that. Price came down, got support here, fell below, quickly got support back, and then we broke below that, and then the short squeeze brought us right back to this level, and that became support again. And now we are finding support again at this level at $8,200. But I'm curious to see how this is going to actually end up playing out in the short term. Short term is always harder to predict. Of course, you guys watching know that I'm a long-term person. So when you're looking at like stuff like this, guys, we're looking at the 1-minute candle. But if you're trying to do like some quick trades, so we have that support line, and basically I was saying in order to keep moving, we have to be building on this support line. We broke below, so a lot of times when people are looking at charts like this and they're trying to trade, they'll look at the chart like this, right? And they'll just think that, oh look, we're creating that next low. But if you're looking at the actual trend, like this, what tends to happen and why people get faked out so often is because the price will bounce up like this, and then get rejected on that support line, and it becomes resistance. And then you get, that's just like another bull fake out, which has been happening constantly, like during this whole thing. Bulls are getting faked out over and over again. People are getting super frustrated. So we do have some support coming in here now. Not all that much. Not enough to create any significant low. So we have this support line drawn. We'll see if we get the price to break through it or if we get rejected, like I was saying just before. So right now, if you're looking at the order book, the bulls are stepping up a bit, lining up a little bit more than the bears at the moment, but order book doesn't always tell the story, guys, over here on the right, because anybody can put Bitcoin on the order book at any point. So if you guys have any questions, definitely let me know. So let's just go take a look again for those of you who just tuned in. Those of you tuning in now, just go over some stuff I said before. So Jose, you're saying, do you see the crypto market having a 1.5-year bear market? Yeah, I mean, I do think it's very possible. I've talked about that before. I mean, that's kind of what I just based my YouTube channel off of, was the idea that guys, like, we're entering a sustained bear market. And I think, you know, I have a video on my channel called Possible Bitcoin Scenario, and if you look at that video, you'll see the scenario that I was saying was possible. Something that happened in the past that I think is possible again is that the price will end up sort of just curling over and trading into, obviously it's not going to happen like this, and I'm not telling you guys that this timing is perfect or anything like what I'm drawing here. I'm not talking about the timing necessarily. I mean, I can make it more realistic, but eventually, you know, we would trade like this, break below, have balances and whatnot, and eventually we would just find a nice stable point and just slowly turn around. Like the last bear market, guys, we eventually just found a nice stable area, traded sideways, and just curled right back up, and then eventually we would build back up and move up again. So guys, just because I'm bearish on Bitcoin doesn't mean I hate Bitcoin and I'm saying that Bitcoin's dead. I'm just telling you guys that I think that it's possible that we go to lower lows and like sort of follow this price channel here, or sorry, the support line, kind of like a price channel. We could trade within this range for a while, guys. So if we're looking at that support line again, so we were trading on this support line and eventually hit that 6K support. So this downward support trend, descending support trend, we eventually traded sideways right on that 6K mark and bounced up. But it is completely possible that we break below this. You know, we'll see like a bounce back up, and then eventually break below. I think that's totally possible, and then that's what would create, or that's what would cause that continued sustained bear market, and you know, kind of put us in a stable period for the whole summer into the fall, and eventually we would probably start building back up. and actually hit higher highs and go above this area, but it might take another year or 2 years or 3 years, who knows. It all depends on the demand for Bitcoin, how many people are using it, how often it's being used, how many people, you know, what they're using it for. There's a lot of factors that will determine whether Bitcoin, you know, continues up from here or goes into a sustained bear market. I don't think there's enough use case for it just yet. I think eventually there will be. The Fallen Alien says, I respect your thoughts, bro. I love having all the information. I like how you aren't biased like those religious investors. You know, a lot of people think I am biased, and I guess I am, because, you know, overall I'm bearish, but, you know, I have to have an opinion of some kind, right? I can't just be like, oh, we're bullish, we're bearish, we're bullish, we're bearish. Like, I have to stick to an idea. And I've been sticking to the idea that we are in a bear market, and it's turned out to be true. You know, guys, stick to your ideas. Don't make irrational decisions. Don't trade based off of just like impulse. You know, create a plan for yourself and stick to your plan and stay true to what you think is right. And don't get influenced by other people too much, you know. Do your research. So, if you remember before, guys, I was talking about that Bitcoin price channel for the bullish case. You know, I was drawing that line here. And I was saying the price channel would have to build into this point and you know, break up that way. But the bearish case is basically just the opposite. We start building into this, you know, sort of like a pennant, and we start trading. The trading range gets more narrow, more narrow, more narrow, and then eventually we break down. So if we're just talking about possible scenarios, you know, obviously I'm not talking about the timing, just something like that. You know, the price eventually trading into this range and getting rejected out of that range. That's what I think is most likely. Something like this. So, you know, with this scenario, with this prediction, I would be looking like beginning of July, end of June, a break below $6,000. That's kind of what I'm looking for. Jose is saying, when we were 6.5k alts were having such a low liquidity and volume, cannot imagine them if Bitcoin trades below 5k. Yeah, I mean, dude, if Bitcoin trades below, you said 5k? Bitcoin trades below 6k even. I mean, it's going to be blood on the streets, guys. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be nuts. The Fallen Alien says, I turn my bell alerts on so that you know when I start streaming. Yeah, man, that's awesome. I appreciate that so much. And again, I'm seeing a lot of familiar faces, which is awesome. So yeah, guys, this is the scenario I'm looking at. This is that, you know, we broke below the price channel for a while, or for a little bit, I mean, for that 6,000 low. But we met that low once again, and now we are finding our way into this more narrow price channel. So I'm going to take away these lines. What are we doing? I'm going to look at the 1 minute again just to see what's going on. So yeah, this is how people get faked out at, guys, because they look at this, they see that it's nice and green, and then boom, it goes red. So now we are sitting on majority negative volume for the past 3 minutes. Christopher Doyle says, morning. Good morning, man. Thanks for tuning in. It's an ugly day in the market for sure. Although if you've been watching this channel, you've been following this channel, this is exactly what we've expected. You know, it's dangerous when you're out there and you're listening to Bitcoin maximalists and people that just think Bitcoin's going to go up forever. It's dangerous, guys. You know, hodling isn't always the answer. If you're looking to make money, hodling isn't the answer. You know, I mean, like, of course, people, you know, for the long term, if you want to buy Bitcoin now, you could put your money in now, and we have a sustained bear market for a year or 2 or 3 or whatever, and you're hodling, and then eventually we come back up and break above. Like, sure, you can do that, but who wants to do that? Who wants to be sitting on losses for that long? You know what I mean? Like people who bought in at like 15,000 plus. Like you're gonna just sit there and hodl. Like that's crazy. That's just crazy. Like you're gonna go insane. You don't want to do that, guys. You want to find the best positions to get in. You can make tons of money by buying at 6,000 and selling at 11,000. You can make tons of money, especially if you're on leverage and whatnot. You can do that, but that's, guys, that's a thing for skilled traders. What's up, Alex? You guys are in Germany watching me? Nice. But yeah, guys, the volume right now is kind of fizzling out. And I think the confidence has has kind of left Bitcoin. So actually, I'm going to do something real quick. I'm going to go on Google Trends, and I'm going to type in Bitcoin, and let's see what it looks like. So, if you're looking at Google Trends, guys, just people Googling Bitcoin, the interest is at the same it was, last year in May and September or whatever. Like, the interest is not there at the moment, because when Bitcoin's going down, the interest is, people are interested in Bitcoin. The demand is created for Bitcoin when the price is going up. It's such a greed-based thing right now. When the price is going up, demand goes up. When the price is going down, demand goes down. That's like literally how Bitcoin works. It's just all psychology. It's all just numbers and what people think. Guilty Pleasure says Netherlands here. Eric Munzo says Kevin is going international. Yeah, actually, if you guys are interested, I can show you my analytics right now, actually. Because this is cool. I don't know, some of you guys probably don't have YouTube channels, so this might be a cool thing for you guys to see. I'm going to go to my YouTube analytics, and if I go down to, so if I click on like this top geographic thing, I can see all of the top countries. So the most watch time I have is US, United Kingdom, Germany, Netherlands, Australia, Canada, Switzerland, Belgium. So I can actually go and hold my mouse over these and see. So all these countries, so these obviously, like Africa, I'm not going to get viewers, but all the countries that pop up are my viewers. So that's just something cool, because I can actually see where you guys are viewing from, which is a fun thing. Yeah, guys, support is weak. Support is really weak. Like even if we get a bounce up from this point, it doesn't really mean much. You can easily just get rejected again and start trading down. There's no support. If you're looking to buy Bitcoin here, guys, there's no support for you there. I personally wouldn't be confident. The Fallen Alien says, is there a donate option? Not yet. My YouTube doesn't have a donate option at the moment. Although I should set something up. I probably should set something up for donations. You said, is there a donate option? I'll send you some USDT. Well, I don't have anything set up just yet, but when I set something up, I'll hold you to it. So let's look at our trading range, guys. This is our trading range right here. Yeah, I probably should set up a Patreon. So this is our current price channel. So if we get a break above this price channel through here, then, short term we might be bullish. The price could come back to any of these levels again in the short term. We could end up, building up this way a little bit for some short-term gains. gains, but overall, guys, you know that I'm bearish on Bitcoin. So we actually ended up creating a more narrow price channel here. So you might get a bounce. Yep, there goes there. It's breaking out a little bit right there. So we're gonna get probably a short-term bounce here. Depending on how much volume actually enters at this point, we'll see what happens. But we broke above that resistance finally. You know, there's been relentless selling all day long, for the past few days. Finally getting some sort of low, even though this volume down here, guys, this buy volume is not nearly enough for a real true low to be created. That's just not, like, while yeah, there might be a short-term bounce here, but man, there's just so much selling that's outweighing the buying at this point. Chris is saying, crypto consensus every year affect the Bitcoin prices. Do you think it will happen again May 14th to May 16th? You know, crypto consensus might affect it. I mean, I'm sure it does. Although I think some of this has to do with, you know, other than the fact that, you know, this is just, you know, we went to 20,000, came back to 6,000, went to 12,000, came back to 6,500, went to 10,000, now we're on our way back to, you know, that area again. Other than the fact that this is pretty much just normal market behavior, honestly. Some of this has to do with the Mt. Gox situation. But either way, guys, I don't think the people at Mt. Gox are stupid. I think they understand that they don't want to just dump their coins all at once. So they're gonna sell in periods where Bitcoin is already selling anyway. You know what I mean? They're gonna go with the natural flow of the market. That's the way they can maximize their cash out process. Yeah, guys, we're not really getting that volume to get that breakout. So that's actually not the correct exact point, but be about like right there. But you never know. We could trade up into that zone. And guys, so this stream's not going to be going on much longer, but you know, while you're doing your own analysis, you know, keep these levels in mind. Like, you know, while the price could be bouncing up, you know, you might see like a huge pump. You know, you might see something like that, but that doesn't mean that we're necessarily bullish. You know, you have all of these resistance levels now to get through, where people are taking their losses or taking their profits or whatever. There's a lot to get through here now. I mean, that selling was just super harsh. You know, that pocket of selling there is really, it almost matches this pocket of buying here. It's actually more. And like I said before, guys, that low that was created at that short squeeze was not a true low. That's not true buying. That's not true support. So I think the market is really actually trying to find its way back here. I don't think the overall market is really satisfied with the fact that we just all of a sudden within 30 minutes we went from 6,800 to 7,800, and I don't think that's really a healthy thing for the market. I think eventually we'll find our way back to this zone, at least. Like, you guys know that I think Bitcoin's going to go below 6,000, but at least, guys, we're gonna find our way back to this area and retest that again. I think it'd be very strange if we didn't retest this one more time, because the amount of buying in here was really not significant enough. What happened in here, like right before that short squeeze, not really significant enough to create a true low, guys. I think we'll definitely be retesting this. But of course, short term, there's gonna be bounces. You know, I'm not talking about timing specifically. You know, who knows what's gonna happen. The price can play in this zone, but I think we will retest this area at least. Struggling to find support still. That buy order, 8,200 is still there. I'm pretty curious. I was really hoping that we were going to get to that point within this stream, but it might take a while for us to actually hit 8,200. So we probably won't see it during this stream. But $18 million buy wall on Bitfinex at $8,200. Or I guess technically 2,500 Bitcoin. Just looking at the Heikin-Ashi candles, I think it's a great way to get a perspective on the actual price trends that are taking place. It's just more of a straightforward way, because when you're looking at just regular candles, it gets a bit confusing, because you're seeing like every up and down price word movement. But if you're looking at the Heikin-Ashi candles, you get more of a trend perspective, and it's a little bit easier to see what's going on. Fallen Angel says, thanks for going live tonight. Of course, man. Definitely going to start doing it more often. So guys, I have that price target of $2,500, which is like, so we get the exact point. It's like right here. That's about my price target, right? So, what's separating us from that? Pretty much just this bullish move right here. Yeah, this bounce up and this bounce up, and then all this activity, like, a lot of you guys came into the market during all of this here, and all that activity is being propped up just on these bullish moves here. And I personally don't think that Bitcoin deserves this price evaluation. I think we are going to retest this area again. There's really not all that much separating us from that zone. So if we can break below that 6,500 mark, it won't be that hard, guys, to get down to this level. So if you're looking at the Heikin-Ashi candles, we created that first red candle here, which could be the indication of the next trend, which would be, of course, a downtrend, pushing us back to that zone. I'm pretty sure it is, guys. Pretty sure this is a pretty good signal that we're going to get a retracement here. Bitcoin's still struggling to find that support. Yeah, not much bull activity. It looks like, guys, to me right now that we did not find enough support in this area, and we are going to probably turn around and start moving back down again. Had a small amount of accumulation on the way down, but I don't think it's enough, guys. So even if we get a short-term bounce, I think we're going to end up getting to this area again for sure. So the last time the negative volume picked up this much was during these February panic lows. So, you know, you see that these three, we're looking at the 3-day chart here now. So these three-day candles, these volume candles at the bottom here, you're starting to see this candle actually pick up and get above these two. So you might see something like this again. The way that these look right here, we might be seeing that again right here. You know, you might see these red volume bars getting bigger like that again, and pushing us down to that low. But yeah, guys, I think that is going to conclude the stream. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys learned something. So thank you guys so much for watching. Had a decent amount of people watching there, which is awesome. And a lot of familiar faces. And Fallen Angel, I'm definitely going to remember to get my donation stuff set up. I got all my Belgian people in here, all my European friends in here. I think we got a lot of people from the UK watching too, which is great. It's always nice to have viewers, because I'm in the US, so it's always great to have viewers over in Europe, so that when I go live at these crazy hours, you know, you got some people watching. Guys, thank you guys so much. Have a good night, guys. I appreciate the support, and I will see you soon.